Lived in Northern California since I was 12 years old. And I've led a very sheltered life in some ways. And I started touring, coming out to East, started seeing signs that I had never seen out in California. Discovered that God had a marketing budget. And he was kind of an unfriendly fellow.
Thank you for coming here.
It feels like a mission to me, really. I started seeing the signs, in Georgia. The sign said, "Stop taking my name in vain, or I'll make your commute even more annoying." Signed, God. I just thought, geez, really thin skin, aren't you?
Thank you, David, for coming.
And then the thing that tore it was out in Farmington, New Mexico. Driving down the main drag with my buddy Stuart on our way up to Utah, my favorite place in the entire universe. And off to the side is a plain brick building with a very plain sign on a pole in plain block letters that said "Adult Videos," which would not have made much of an impression on either Stuart or me were it not for the billboard that was overlooking that. It's this big billboard, this big Goyish Jesus guy looking down right there on the sign in the place, and it said, "Jesus is watching you." And it just made me really, really glad that my parents didn't inflict any of that kind of crap on me. Such a lovely planet. Wonder how it came to be. Was it chaos or creation? Was it God or entropy? Now the spirit may be sleeping, but it dwells in every heart. I put my faith in nature, of which we are a part. There are many here among us who believe this world is theirs, and when it's beaten and depleted, they will rise into the air. And the ones who don't believe them face a dark, eternal grave. No one knows, but they are certain. Save us from the saved. I put my faith in nature, what I hear and smell and see, until I meet that higher power. I'll do what makes sense to me. And if what I would call a good life is what you would call depraved, give me freedom from religion. Save us from the saved. to honor mine. In a world with any justice, blasphemy is not a crime. You believe what you believe in. I respect your wish to pray, but if you try to make me join you, I'll resist you all the way. Now I'm not saying I know better, I'm just saying we don't know, till the day we get an answer. I go where my heart says go. It's a narrow-minded Jesus I see reflected in your eyes. He was all about compassion. If he knew you, he would cry. I put my faith in nature when I hear and smell and see. Until I meet that higher power, I'll do what makes sense to me. But if what I would call a good life is what you must call depraved, give me freedom from religion, save us from the saved. Save us from the saved. Want to hear the saddest song ever written? You can already tell how freaking sad this song is. Sitting alone on a Saturday night, watching the Late Late Show. A bottle of wine, some cigarettes, I've got no place to go. I saw your new old man today. He was wearing my brand new shoes, and I'm down to seeds and stems again too. Well, I met my old friend Bob from up in Bowling Green. He had the prettiest chat room sweetheart I had ever seen, and I could not hide my tears at all, 'cause she looked just like you. And I'm down to seeds and stems again too. There's other ways to get high. They don't seem to understand. I'm too far gone to try. Now there's so many memories, and that's all I have left to lose. I'm down to seeds and stems again, too. Oh, I see the confused look on some of the faces out there. You youngsters don't seem to grok the metaphor, as we of my generation would say. When we were kids, marijuana was culturally frowned upon, alarmingly seductive, and of very poor quality. You hand over your $10 to the shady dealer over there in the park next to the high school, and he'd bring back something that, if it was marijuana, might not be very good at all. And in it would be a bunch of dried vegetable matter in a powdered form at the bottom of the bag, a couple of long twigs, little spiked things hanging off of them, and maybe just a little bit of a vestige of a kind of appendix of a bit of marijuana leaf hanging off of there. So the first thing you'd have to do is get home and clean it before you could even find out if it was any good. So you paid your $10 for a lid, which is supposed to be an ounce, and after you get done taking the lumper out of it, you have a little heap of this other stuff here, and it's also got seeds wrapped up in it. And so you have to do something to separate the wheat from the chaff, as it were. So you get an album cover. Oops, that's something else I have to explain. Music used to come in physical containers. Before it just was beamed directly into your skull by iTunes, it was actually sold on little things called compact discs, which I have some up for sale here because I'm clinging to the past. And before that, it came on albums. Record albums, which were this big. They were a foot, they were 12 inches across, which meant that the packaging that they came in was 12 inches and a bit square. And it was an absolutely wonderful canvas for creativity in the psychedelic 60s, and award-winning art. Trippy stuff, just plain beautiful stuff. Just plain typography for unimaginative. Oh, look, here comes an album cover now. Al has chosen one of the trippiest psychedelic album covers of all time, Oxa Moxilla by the Grateful Dead, by Rick Griffin, one of the great poster artists of all time. And on the back, a photograph of a large number of people, one of whom is not Courtney Love, it turns out. Anyway, I'm trying to explain how what this has to do with marijuana is that it would be better if it was a double album, like the Allman Brothers live at Fillmore East. You put your dope, you take your twigs and stuff, and you crumple them onto the album, and then you tilt it up, and you take a ticket to the last concert you went to at Winterland, and the seeds would roll to the bottom out of the way. Because you didn't want to accidentally smoke one of those because it would explode, and then you'd get a hole in your Madras t-shirt.
And it gave you a headache, too.
Okay, here you go.
Joni Mitchell.
Anyway.
Oh, nice.
That's all by way of explaining to some of you who are either too old or too young to have participated in that generation. Why being down to seeds and stems again is a very, very sad situation. That's all I really meant to tell you. Oh, my dog died the other day. Left me here alone. Finance company is on their way to repossess my home. But that's just a drop in the bucket, babe, compared to losing you. And I'm down to seeds and stems again, too. I've got filter down to seeds and stems again.